Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Libras, let's go ahead and take a look at what is it that they want to say, whomever they may be. This is somebody who clearly has something to say that they haven't yet said to Libra. And we'll figure out who they are in just a moment. But first off, we have Seven of Swords, Queen of Wands, Five of Wands, Emperor, Fool, and Seven of Pentacles. Bookends of sevens over here. Honestly, this almost looks like somebody who wants to accuse Libra of lying. You know, like you decided something that wasn't true. You got it into your head that this is how this went, but you were wrong. This person, it starts out with lies. Okay. So either they want to confess a lie, but it doesn't talk about confession, it talks about lying. So either they want to tell a lie or they want to accuse Libra of lying. Like, and there's a little bit of like, peeking out from behind and thinking like, oh, you've been talking to all kinds of different people and, spying a little bit, acting like you're one kind of a person, but in fact, you're somebody else entirely. And it almost feels like somebody who's trying to say, I was really serious, but you weren't. You were lying to me. And over time, I just want you to know I've moved on. I don't know why this would be somebody who wants to talk about or accuse, of a lie, but then also follow it up with, but you know what? It's fine. I'm good. Who are you, character? First off. Death card, Three of Cups. Interesting, because they are somebody that Libra either cut out of their life or things ended. But in fact, they had wanted to reconcile with Libra, even though it was over. They could be a Scorpio. Clearly have a lot of emotions here. They are wearing a mask. So if they broke it off with Libra or Libra broke it off with them, it wasn't sincere on their part. Like they actually always still wanted to still be with Libra is what it seems like. High Priestess, and they've always still felt like there was a bond between themselves and Libra. Okay, so this is like a highly dramatized story. Can we go back and get a little bit more clarity? What is it? Because I still feel like this was a bit of a jumbled mess. So can we go back and get a little bit more clarity? What is it that you want to say to Libra? Because it feels, that felt kind of accusatory along with, but I don't care. It's fine. But I know you were lying, but I've moved on. And I just don't know. What do you really want to say to Libra? Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. I've moved on and I'm good. I'm so good. Everything is better now. Okay, are you saying you've moved on from Libra and everything's good? Or maybe have I misinterpreted all of this and this is somebody who's like been working on some other messy situation of their life that they've tidied up? The Tower is like a complete life overhaul. I feel like they're saying, I just want Libra to know that I'm so fine now, that this ending is fine with me. Seven of Wands and Knight of Cups. It was really hard for me to move on, but now everything's good and I'm good. I'm so good. The reason I say they keep saying that is because this is no justice, and Libra would be the justice card. So even without Libra, guess how good I am. I'm going to move on and I'm going to, offer my heart to someone else. And all I can say in this story is, methinks thou doth protest too much. Because why would they need to keep saying all of this? If you've moved on, basically you don't think about stuff anymore, right? Because you've moved on. So can we turn to the universe here for some, insight? Because I would argue that this looks suspiciously like this person hasn't moved on at all, while they think all the time about wanting to tell Libra that they've moved on. The universe says Fool card and Six of Cups. Leap of faith to returning to a soulmate is really what's the underlying wish. They wish they could either have a brand new do-over. Hang on. Universe, what's their real vibe here toward Libra? Devil, they are still so attached to Libra as much as they wish that they could move on. There's like a lie that they tell themselves, because in truth I think they think about Libra all the time. And they keep telling themselves, this is so great, I'm so single, I'm going to meet somebody new. Universe, what might be in their greatest, highest good to do for themselves? Star, to heal, to focus on themselves healing. Obviously, this is somebody who still really is sad over Libra, but they're not able to look at it that way, so they keep channeling it into Libra. Basically, they still want to say was like some kind of a villain in their mind, or they painted it that way. Maybe that's why they can't get over it. Let me just ask this. Why, let's go back to them for a second. Why do you want to paint that Seven of Swords into this? Because that was our first card out. Seven of Pentacles. Again, all these sevens, right? Over time, it's like they mulled over something for so long that then they told themselves this story. 10 of Cups. Their thoughts about Libra grew. Okay, so it's not that they want to say Libra was a liar. It's that they're trying to say, I lied to myself thinking that, Libra was the person I was supposed to be with. Libra, I just want you to know, I figured out, I was supposed to move on. So they're not trying to paint Libra as a villain. They are trying to paint themselves as somebody who's like I lied to myself that we were going to be so great together, when in fact I was supposed to move on and be with somebody entirely different. And now it's going to be really happy and everything's going to be really great and it's all working out. And in fact, that's not how they feel at all. Again, we have the Devil. This person is very attached to the idea of Libra still. This has never gone away, and they have a really hard time letting go of Libra, plain and simple. So if they're still kind of lying to themselves though, and acting like, oh, I just want to tell Libra, hey, I'm good. I was supposed to move on. It doesn't even look like they're trying to say they wish Libra well. It just looks like they keep trying to say, I know now I was supposed to move on. I know now this is all good. It was the way this was always supposed to go. And I don't believe that they really agree with that statement, but they tell themselves that a lot in this story. So, character, do you have anything else that you want to say to Libra? We have that blank card. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Four of Pentacles. The one thing that's maybe a little tiny sliver of truth is they are admitting, we both kind of, there was love here, but we just never really got it off the ground. We just weren't quite ready. Or this didn't really work. I kind of held back. I probably could have done more. But then they're also saying, but see, Libra, you did the same. The only thing that I think is maybe the sliver of truth here is that there's a piece of them that says that I really did love you, Libra, but I did hold back. And I think that part might be closer to the truth, but they're really trying to minimize this to help themselves move on from Libra. And it is not working. It just does not seem to be working at all. Can I go over here and just ask a message just for Libra on this one? What's the message just for Libra here? We have got the 10 of Crystals, which is the 10 of Pentacles. For Libra, it's to keep gravitating toward making their life super balanced. That 10 of Pentacles. 4 of Cups. If there are any things that Libra has a regret over or is focusing on, if they feel like they didn't attain everything that they wanted to, it says it would behoove Libra to think about those things and in this case make peace with those things. There is some kind of need for sleuthing out the truth of a situation for Libra as well. So this gently hints that maybe there is still something here that Libra is still holding on to. We do have the Wheel of Fortune and it's sideways. So Libra should be shifting into a time of great peace and great prosperity. But if there is something that is nagging at Libra and pulling Libra back as well, it might be preventing Libra from fully like walking through that next door. Universe, what is the thing that might be of greatest use for Libra to consider that could be holding them back? Ten of Swords. If this ended ugly with this person, if Libra felt hurt by all this, this might still be bothering Libra as well. The way something ended could have been unpleasant, unkind, it could have been hurtful, and that could actually still be a lingering pain. Then what would be the greatest, like gentlest encouragement on dealing with that? Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is looking at whatever hidden feeling of loss there is around something, or feeling of being out in the cold, or feeling of missed opportunities. I'm starting to wonder, is this one of those messages where maybe two people both are trying so hard to like tell themselves, because there's a great song by Julio Iglesias. I keep telling myself this was not meant to be. I keep telling myself, but my heart won't agree. No matter how many times I keep telling myself, I know there's nobody else. I don't know if this song is applicable here, or if this is just like an incomplete closure. Not always do we have characters that are, pining for something that actually is something they should go back to. Six of Wands. Look, there was once upon a time, this situation held a lot of passion, held a lot of success, or let me just put it this way. Libra should feel successful no matter what, and, attractive and all of those things. And if Libra is having some kind of sorrow over this ending, it says that they haven't got their full confidence back after this. And so that would be maybe something to gently, consider or look at, or, not like, oh, I need to go back to that person. It could have just been like it was a bad ending and it kind of stung, and it kind of, anything can throw us a little off kilter. Something that doesn't leave a good taste in our mouth. Of course, that's something that we're left still thinking about, right? So I'm not saying that, oh, Libra has unfinished business and they have to go back to this person. I mean, could that be? Sure. But the universe is more suggesting, like, what is it that will give Libra their full confidence back? Is there anything that is still, plaguing Libra, bogging them down? In fact, can we change here for just a moment and say, universe, from the higher perspective, is there any unfinished business between Libra and this person? Or is it just that now it's time to heal and let things go? Seven of Pentacles says this is still a bit of a journey. There is still more growth that's going to be happening because of this situation. That's a positive card, okay? So Seven of Cups. Again, sevens are always divine numbers, and we keep rocking the sevens in here. Fives and sevens are also both numbers of change. It says, it may not seem like it right now, but there is more like encouragement of thinking about things from different perspectives, getting more value out of having ever encountered each other and having had these experiences together, and that happiness will indeed return. Great happiness and great clarity will still be coming because of this, interaction. It's just, admittedly, look, this really made an impact. And therefore, there's a lot of growth that has been going on. We have Death and Rebirth, and we have Hierophant. This actually, I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but this entire experience will actually be one that serves to, like, someday Libra will look back on all of this and say, if I hadn't gone through all that with that person, the experience of it, the thought process of it, the prolonged healing that I had to do from it, and all the things I learned about me through that process, I wouldn't be where I am today now, happily married and living my best life. And everything is going to be transforming. I don't know that it transforms so the two of them end up together, but it does say that because of this experience, which admittedly has been very lingering, has had many facets of this, like they seem to be in denial land right now. Libra seems to still be bothered by the painfulness of the ending, and yet it's all because they're actually still in a process. Like, think of it maybe as a mourning process, where there's different stages of grief, or maybe this is a building process where they're thinking through things and changing their mindset around things, and Libra is working on getting their confidence back. It's going to change things down the road and actually lead to a much better outcome, and even lead Libra to being able to have a much happier long-term relationship with that Hierophant. And it's crazy because it is all because of this heartbreak. It's one of those examples where sometimes, when our heart is broken open, that's the big aspect of it, is it's opened up, and now we can bring in new energy, and we can bring in things we didn't know that we needed to welcome in. Look, this is not an easy story, and it's quite the process that we see underway in this, but we do see all of this will build a better tomorrow. It'll build better relationships. And let me just ask, is there some possibility for Libra and this person still down the road? We have an Emperor and we have the Ace of Cups. Look, in this storyline, obviously, it's always about whatever characters want to choose for themselves, right? It still looks like Libra loves this person and this person loves Libra. And I don't shoot the messenger. Remember, these are fictional stories. Remember, nobody does anything that they don't want to. These are all about fictional characters. But for the purpose of this story, it actually says Libra and this person end up together later. And happy later. I know it doesn't seem like it from here, right? Because it started out with them trying to tell themselves, oh, it's fine. Yeah, you know what? I was supposed to move on, right? I'm supposed to end up with somebody else. And, yeah, sure, that's the way that's supposed to go. And anyway, you probably wanted somebody instead of me anyway. And they're in that big old state of denial. And first I thought they were calling, Libra a liar, but instead it's like the lies that they would try to say is like, of course I'm supposed to move on, when that's not what they ever wanted to do. Then we have Libra saying, I moved on, except for the fact that this still bothers me, and I try to make peace with it, but it still kind of bothers me. And, it just feels like these two still have a lot more processing to do. And this is because it's an unfinished symphony. These two are actually not done with each other in this storyline. They can be if they want to be. It's just not in this story. So I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Libras, thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.